teams you should be a fan of going into the playoffs. You got your teams?
Yeah, I do. I got my teams. Ennis, do you got yours?
I do not.
Okay.
Because I didn't
Okay,
I didn't know about this segment.
Correct. Ennis had no idea this was happening. Okay, so I have 2 Western Conference teams, and I have 1 Eastern Conference team. You ready, Ennis? We'll go Eastern Conference first. Teams you should be a fan of in the Eastern Conference going into the playoffs. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. The Boston Celtics.
No!
Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah, I know.
I will never, ever be a fan of the Boston Celtics. Even if you hold a knife to my throat, I'll never.
I feel like I don't, like, hate these Celtics teams as much as I did. Like, I feel like the only Celtic team I really hate is, like, the Garnett-Pierce Celtics. I really dislike that team. Because I feel like whenever they go around, like, they'll do, like, they won 1 championship, like a singular championship, and I feel like a lot of people act like they're a dynasty. Obviously, they were all, like, 100 years old when they got together, so they weren't going to win anything. Like, they weren't going to win too much, and a lot of them got injured in the wrong times, but I just don't like how that team acts, you know? I don't like Rondo. I don't know if I made this clear. I don't like Rondo at all. I don't like Paul Pierce. I really like Ray Allen, but I only liked him when he was on the Heat, and, like, the Bucks. I think KG on the Celtics was just never as good.
Tell us why we should be a fan of the Celtics.
Oh, you should be a fan of the Celtics.
Excluding Laker fans.
Yeah, okay, so put all your biases aside here. They have a second half of the season MVP level player in Jason Tatum, who is a two-way player, shot creator. He's just a bucket getter, Ennis. It's kind of that simple. But he's become a bucket getter on the likes of somebody like a Kawhi or a Paul George, where like you can trust them. Actually, I don't know if I trust Paul George to get a bucket in the last 10 seconds of a game. But if you want to get a bucket in the last 10 seconds of a game, Jason Tatum's like going to be one of your guys. He's going to be the guy you trust. And, I mean, just exponentially, that's not the right word to use at all. His playmaking just has increased so much this year. Like, he's just making the right reads. There are occasionally times where, like, he'll try to hit the corner and, like, it'll just be, like, way high. Like, it'll just be, like, into, like, the fourth row. But that only happens, like, twice every game. Like, his handle's improved a lot. He's just getting to the paint whenever he wants to. I feel like that's been a struggle for him. He would settle for just a lot of, like, mid-range jumpers that are just kind of contested. But the paint's opened up for him more with the way that Boston's offense works, which is kind of just pass the ball to Jason Tatum. But he's just a bucket, Ennis. Like, he's got the side step three. He's got the pull up. He gets to the paint when he wants to. He's solid, Ennis. No words around it, you know. Like, he's an easy, like, he's needy. He's like, I can see a world where, like, he drops 50 points like 2 games in a row.
So he's that type of player. Okay.
He's just that type of guy, you know?
You know, the Celtics really are peaking at the perfect time.
Wow, that was such a fantastic, like, phrase to use there. That felt so official, you know?
Thank you. Like I said about peaking, over the last 70 days, they have the best offensive, defensive, and net rating in the NBA. Isn't that crazy, bro?
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. And I mean, this is like after they stunk for like the first half of the season.
I think they're poised to make a deep playoff run this season.
And I mean, there is a bit of concern with obviously Robert Williams III not being there.
Oh yeah, that was tough.
But I think their first round matchup, I think he'll be back in time for that. Just because of like I think he's probably like a top 5 like weak side help defender like in the league. Or like strong side, or like, I don't know. I'm trying to picture the floor right now, and I'm really tired, so I can't really do it. But like, anytime you're coming into the paint, Robert Williams, he's just gonna swat it. He's gonna swat it.
Well, I don't think he's gonna come back first round. Didn't they say like second round?
Second round. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but I don't think he's needed for the first round matchup if it's like Atlanta.
Who are they? Okay, so they could potentially play the Nets first round. Just saying, that would be very tough.
No, they can't.
No, they can.
No, they just play the winner of the 7-8 matchup. Or unless they drop down in seeding, but...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Unless they go up to the first seed.
Yeah, if they go up to the... I don't think that'll happen. I think Miami's a really good, like, we'll win when we don't need to team. So I think they'll stay there. I was going to put Miami in sinking ship, but I was like, they're kind of too good to put them there. And Kyle Lowry's he's just so...
Big booty.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go all the way there. I was just gonna like make a slight reference to it, but I mean whatever you say, Ennis. Like I'm not gonna disagree.
Bro, I just have to. I have to be upfront with it, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's good that you're aware of it. I think they'll hold the second seed though, and they'll probably play. I think Atlanta's winning the 7-8 game, so I think Atlanta probably plays Boston. I don't think they need Time Lord for that. They have to play Milwaukee next though. which is going to be so fun. And that'll be
gonna be fun, bro.
That's going to be such a fun series. That'll be like, whew.
All right,
That's going to be like your top 3 series.
Who are your Western Conference teams? I
got 2 teams. Okay, take a guess.
I think one of them is the Grizzlies.
Hey, you got it.
Because that's my team. I want to root for the Grizzlies, bro. Just because like they're such a young team that doesn't have much experience in the playoffs, that no one thought was going to be a top 3 seed this season. They're just a surprising team.
It's always fun to see when like the rebuild comes together like faster than it should.
Yeah, and they don't have like superstars that they traded for or signed, and they're not a big market team.
It's just a homegrown.
It's just a bunch of draft picks strung together.
The Grizzlies are they just play like, I don't know how many times. I think I said this like 8 times over the past 2 days, but it's like they're gonna get every single loose ball. You know, they're gonna play hard, and like if anything, I think the big thing for them is gonna be like getting hot from 3. Like that's happened to them a lot this season, where Jaren Jackson Jr. And like DeAnthony Melton and Desmond Bane just get hot from 3, you know, and like that's able to win them games. Like Desmond Bane pretty much won them that Brooklyn game where he just couldn't miss from 3. I mean, part of it was Brooklyn's bad defense, which may be the reason that they don't get past the second round, but part of it is Brooklyn's bad defense that they weren't able to stay there. But Desmond Bane just couldn't get hot from 3, and obviously you have Ja. Ja's gonna like. I haven't seen a team successfully guard Ja, weirdly, besides the New York Knicks. I think the Knicks are a weird example because they had Mitchell Robinson. And like he was able to deter most of what Ja wanted to do in the pick and roll, just because he's so large. But there's not many other teams, especially a team like Golden State. I think a team like Golden State in the second round would kind of struggle against guarding Ja. Obviously they have in the past. But they have unless Draymond like really finds a way to do it, which he probably can since he's like uber smart, to just deter Ja from but then again, he has the floater then. If he can't get all the way to the paint, then he has the floater. And I wouldn't be okay with Ja just taking floaters because like he shoots like 45% on them. So I wouldn't be like super excited about the fact of only letting Ja take floaters out of the pick and roll. But yeah, I think they win their first round series pretty easily. Dillon Brooks, I think, is going to be a big part of this playoff run for them. He's going to be guarding their best guy a lot of the time, who's like probably going to be a wing guy. He's probably going to be the guy they stick on Steph or like D'Angelo Russell. But also he's had some trouble in the past guarding like super shifty point guards like Donovan Mitchell last year in the first round, where Donovan was able to get like a bunch of foul calls on him just from like messing around. And like imagine if he went against a team like in the Western Conference Finals against Chris Paul. Dear God, what Chris Paul would do to Dillon Brooks. I'm a bit scared about that. If they gave him like full court pressure and like Chris Paul does like the rip through and he'll get like that's like an easy 3 fouls a game. You know, besides the ones that he's already going to draw. But also Jaren Jackson Jr. He'll lock up inside, you know, and Steven Adams is a guy that, like, he's worked his well out of, like, a little bit. Like, he's in, like, the mid-post area. He can play make out of there. It's going to be, like, where does the half-court offense go when, like, things really slow down? Like, is it just going to be a bunch of job pick and rolls? Which I think teams are fine with. But they can start to blitz off of those, and then they'll see what happens from there. There is some game planning you can do against Memphis, but I don't think any of it's enough to the point where you're going to deter what they want to do. You know, they're going to get out in transition as much as they can. They're going to shut you down. They're going to, like, you know, go after every loose ball, you know. I like this Memphis team a lot. I think this Memphis team can potentially make it to the conference finals. And Ennes, I kind of have a bold take, which I changed from yesterday. I don't see a world where it's kind of crazy that Memphis makes the finals. Like, I don't think that's that crazy.
You know, I thought about this for a little bit. I think it's a little far-fetched because, yes, they are a solid team, but I don't think you make it to the finals without like having experience in the playoffs first. Like I feel like a comparison to this team would kind of be like the Mavericks a couple years ago, where they were like Luka was pretty young and he was like really good and having like a really great season. Like Ja just had a really great season, and he had like a pretty young team, and like it wouldn't like people could see them making the finals that year. But I think it was just like their inexperience in the playoffs that like cost them the first round of the playoffs. Because in both years where they played the Clippers first round, they had chances to win that series. I think they were up 2-0 in one of the series.
They were up 2-1 last year.
Yeah.
But then Kawhi kind of came to life, and like everybody on the Mavericks like decides to not play besides Luka, which I don't think will happen here. I think the team that I thought of for this was like the 15 Warriors. They hadn't made a super deep playoff run up to this point. They've made the playoffs. Obviously, Ja didn't win MVP, but he had like an MVP level season almost. and the rest of the supporting cast is really good. They play really good defense. They hit threes, and I don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility where like this team just goes on the run, like the run. It'll be like it's not like an upset run because they're the second seed, but like it's just because they're so young, we didn't see it.
Yeah,
coming,
I think on talent alone they can make it to the conference finals, but I don't see them making the finals at all.
Yeah,
that's just my.
I mean, we'll see, because we haven't seen them in a playoff environment. Like second round, game 6. Where like the game is uber slow, like every possession matters, like there's no mistakes that can be made, like otherwise you're losing the game. We haven't seen them in that environment yet, so maybe you're right. Maybe like that playoff inexperience gets to them. This is gonna be Taylor Jenkins' first time coaching like in this type of environment, like besides last year. But I think we kind of gave them a pass last year because they kind of gave Utah a scare, but it wasn't like anything like crazy. But we'll see. I'm excited to see how this Memphis run goes. I do have one other team though.
Yeah, who's the other team?
I was talking about him a lot last episode, Ennes. Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Luka Doncic. Luka Magic, Wonder Boy, Puff Pastry Boy, whatever you want to call him. He's I think they do win this Denver series just because I don't think Jamal Murray's coming back. MPJ's definitely not coming back. He had another setback with his back, unfortunately. And I mean, I saw Luka against the Bucks the other day, and then I rewatched the game, and it was like there's no real way to guard him right now. Bro was asking for switches onto Giannis. Like, then he called the ISO on Giannis. He hit the step back 3, so then step back 3 becomes a threat. So it's like you don't want Luka taking the step back 3, right? But then he used Giannis not being there, because Giannis is probably the best help defender in the league. So he used that to his advantage. So that way he could make corner passes. He can make whatever pass he wants to. He can make the lob passes with Giannis being on him, instead of Giannis deflecting all the help passes and deterring them and being able to not make that pass. I was just like, bro just broke the Bucks defense in like 2 seconds. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking this team could make the finals, but I also think like Golden State, Memphis, Phoenix, Mavericks all have a chance to make the finals.
I could see the Mavericks in the finals, bro, for sure.
I mean, I just think this is like, I don't think, maybe they don't have the star power like yet. I don't think they're gonna win if they get there, especially not against like Milwaukee, because Giannis is just Giannis. Maybe they do need the one other guy. Maybe this is a team where like the 2011 Mavericks, where you have your superstar, like your guy, and then you just have a lot of good, like really good complementary pieces. Jalen Brunson's really good. Spencer Dinwiddie. They're not going to get Tim Hardaway back in time for playoffs, which kind of stinks. He's a good 3-and-D guy for them. But Dorian Finney-Smith has really stepped up. They have
Maxi
enough playmaking now. Maxi Kleber.
And Dwight Powell, the tandem.
Dwight Powell, who's really come alive defensively this year. I've kind of called him a non-NBA player before. He's shown that he worked within Jason Kidd's system. I think their defense really will hold up. I think that's going to be their I don't know how words work. Their ace in the hole. Like, if everything goes wrong, we play really good defense and we kind of just shut everything down. All their rotations are really good. They swarm the ball handler when they need to. Like, if there was a late game clock situation where the Bucks like needed a 3, and they basically they did maybe the best job I've seen like from a defensive team all season, besides like the Suns, of like making sure that every shot wasn't there for them, like making every single shot difficult, rotating the right way. And even Luka's more engaged defensively than he ever has been. And I saw him talking about on JJ Redick's pod. He was like, maybe 1-2 year make all defensive team, like they seem motivated. And Luka's, I think, and as I think you can agree, Luka pretty much believes he's the best player in the league, even if it's not consensus that he is. I'm pretty sure that he believes that, which I think is good enough for them. So they're my other teams you should be a fan of.
Brandon Knight is still in the NBA?
He is? What? No. Nah, you're not being serious.
It says he's on the Mavs.
Oh, no, because I think he signed that 10-day. I don't think he's, unless he's played.
He played on April 1st for 3 minutes.
What?
No
Good
way.
for Brandon Knight, man. Did he get signed? Is he like signed on the team? Good for him.
I don't know. Let me see.
Brandon Knight's been through so much, man. He's gone through the... If you all know about what Brandon Knight's been through, it's been tough for him, man. There was the DeAndre Jordan dunk, and then there was the Kyrie crossover.
Oh, and the All-Star game.
It's just in the and then there was also the time that he said in 2014 that they would sweep the Miami Heat in the first round. It's been tough for Brandon Knight.
Oh yeah, he inked he had a 10-day contract on March 29th. So it's about
for him.
It's about to be up.
I mean, maybe they'll re-sign him, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
I totally forgot that happened this season. We had like 2 weeks or like a month even where like every other old dude was getting signed to like
Yeah, I know.
a
Because all
2-day
the
contract.
COVID.
Yeah. Well, the league leader in field goal percentage, if we discard like how many games played, is still Joe Johnson.
Really?
Hasn't missed a shot yet. He only took one, but he didn't miss it.